Good day, Year 9. Today, we're focusing on our second lesson on index laws. We'll be focusing on index law 2. Right. We have seen from index law 1 that the index form is just a shorthand of writing some of our calculations. Today's lesson, we'll be looking at how to use the index law 2 to simplify algebraic expressions. Success criteria will be first, to be able to expand and simplify, and second, to be able to apply both law 1 and law 2 to simplify algebraic expressions. So since we've already learned index law 1, we will use those ideas as well in this lesson. Right, so for this problem here, we have to expand and simplify. So basically, we're using success criteria 1, expand and simplify. So we have 6 to the power of 8 and 6 to the power of 6. Now, what you notice is that the base is the same and it is base 6. It's base 6. So 6 to the power of 8 is just 6 multiplying itself 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 multiplying itself 8 times. And 6 to the power of 6. What we are doing here is the expansion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 multiplying itself 6 times. Now we have to simplify. We expand and simplify. That's the expansion. And the simplification, it means this 6 will cancel that 6. That will cancel that. This will cancel that. This will cancel that. This will cancel that. And this will cancel that. So you see that we're left with these two here, which has not been cancelled. So we got 6 times 6 over 1. When they cancel, remember, they all leave a remainder of 1. A remainder of 1. So 1 times itself as many times is still 1. All right. Now 6 times 6 is 6 squared. It's 36, but we're not going to write the value because we are just expanding and simplifying. So 6 squared will be our final answer. Not 36, but 6 squared. Because we're only simplifying. So 6 squared is the shorthand for that calculation. Remember, we were dividing those two. Let's go to the next slide. As we develop our understanding of the second law. Again, you have 5 to the power of 3, 5 divided by 5 to the power of 3. Again, remember the base is 5. The base is 5. So the shorthand will be base 5 raised to a certain power. 5 to the power of 5, if we expand using success criteria 1, is just 5 multiplying itself 5 times. Remember, it's not 5 times 5, 25. It's 5 multiplying itself 5 times, and that's not 5 times 3, 15. No, it is 5 multiplying itself 3 times. So again, if we simplify, you can see that this 5 goes there 1, and it goes there 1. This 5 goes there 1, and goes there 1. That 5 goes there 1, and goes there 1. We're left with 5 times 5 here, which is untouched on the numerator. So that gives you 5 times 5 over 1. And 5 times 5 is 5 squared. Again, remember, no temptation to give the answer. It's not evaluate. It says expand and simplify. So that's your final answer, 5 to the power of 2. I'm sure by now you're beginning to see some trend. You can see that it was just simply 5 minus 3, which is 2. So you can predict this will be what? We are dividing, so it will be 4 minus 2. That will give us 2, even before we've done it. Because that's 9 multiply itself 4 times, 9 multiply itself twice, 9 here 1, 9 here 1, 9 here 1, 9 here 1. You're left with these 2 9s. So 9 squared over 1, which is still 9 squared. 9 times 9 over 1, which is still 9 squared. Right. Let's do another expand and simplify. But this time, we're combining law 1 and 2 together. But let's expand and simplify. 5 squared will be 5 times 5, and 5 to the power of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're dividing by 5 to the power of 4. So 5 multiplying itself 4 times. Again, like we've done before, this 5 here 1, 5 here 1, 5 here 1, 5 here 1. This 5 here 1, 5 here 1, and this 5 here 1, and this 5 here 1. We're left with 5 times 5 times 5 over 1. And that's 5 to the power of 3. That's the answer. So even with law 1 and law 2, we can combine them. And if you followed what we saw before, if I apply law 1, that will be 5 to the power 2 plus 5 divided by 5 to the power of 4. And that is equal to 5 to the power of 7 over 5 to the power of 4. And because we are dividing, 7 minus 4 gives you 3. 7 minus 4 gives you 3. So let's get to the second law now. So when we're dividing index numbers with the same base, and that's very important, same base, like 8 to the power of 6 divided by 8 squared. 8 to the power of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 multiply themselves, and 2 8 multiply. 8 cancels, gives you 1, 1, and gives you 1, 1. So you're left with 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, all divided by 1, and that's 8 to the power of 4, which is simply 6 minus 2. You subtract the powers. Since the bases are the same and you are dividing, you subtract the powers. So in general, a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, which can be written as a fraction in the fraction form, is simply a to the power m minus n. That's our second law. That's our second law. So when dividing terms with the same base, subtract the powers. Subtract the powers. From now on, we're going to be applying this law, but we'll also apply the first law we learned in our previous lesson as well in helping us solve problems. So for example, in this question here, applying the first law, we will get 7 because it's all 7, the base is 7. And remember, same base. 7. So this will be 7 to the power of 4 plus 3 over 7 to the power of 5. So inside this box, I'll put 7 to the power of 7 because 4 plus 3 is 7. And we're dividing by 7 to the power of 5. Now, this was the law 1. Now, let's use law 2 because we're applying the first and second laws to simplify algebraic expressions. That's our success criteria 2. Now, the second law simply would be 7 to the power of 7 minus 5. And 7 to the power of 7 minus 5 will give me 7 to the power of 2. But this is not my final answer because in this question it says simplify and then evaluate. And then evaluate. Evaluate means I want the final answer, the final number. So 7 squared, remember, is 7 times 7. And that's what? 49. So this is the evaluate part. This is the simplify part. Simplify gives me that answer, and evaluate gives me that answer. So there are two separate questions you need to answer both. You need to simplify and then you need to evaluate. That's what it's asking. So pay attention in future when you have to do those things. Great. Again, simplify and then evaluate. So we have to simplify first. Up to that point is simplify. And this final answer here is the evaluate. So looking at what we have, I'll apply the first law to this part here. The 4 squared times 4 to the power of 3. The base is 4. So this is equal to 4 to the power 2 plus 3. And 4 to the power 2 plus 3 is what? 4 to the power of 5. We have 4 to the power of 8. Beg your pardon, 4 to the power of 8. 4 to the power of 8. And we're dividing by 4 to the power of 5. Remember, 4 to the power of 5, we're able to do this using law 1. Now we need to apply law 2 to this. So 4 to the power of 8 divided by 4 to the power of 5 is simply equal to 4 to the power 8 minus 5. Remember, the base is still 4, same base. So 8 minus 5 gives me 3. So 4 to the power of 3 is my simplified answer. Then evaluate. Remember, it's 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So 64. So that was simplify, and that's evaluate. Right. Any questions? Let's discuss Google Classroom as well. Simplify and evaluate. Remember, up to that point, that is simplify, and that is evaluate. So we will need to tidy this part here first. We need to tidy that part first. So we have 5 squared times 5 squared using law 1 becomes 5 to the power 2. The reason I'm saying that, which is equal to 5 to the power of 4, that's law 1. Helps me to do that. So 5 to the power of 4. And we're dividing by 5. Now this 5 means the power is 1. We normally don't write it, but the power is 1. So now applying law 2, we have 5 to the power 4 divided by 5 is equal to 5 to the power 4 minus 1, which will give us power 3. So the simplify is 5 to the power of 3. The evaluate. If you don't know your times table, you can use a calculator. It's 5 times 5 times 5. That's 125. That's 25 times 5. That should be 125. So that is our evaluate. And that was our simplify. If there are no questions, move on. Pay attention to this question. It says simplify, leave your answer in index form. So here we don't need a calculator. We have to leave our answer in the shorthand in an index form. But we have to simplify. Now, because we are dividing, we can write it like a fraction. So that step can be written. Once you have that step written, we have to apply all the rules. 20 divided by 4, that gives you 5, because 4 goes into 4, 1, it goes into 25. Then we have c to the power of 8 and c to the power of 3. We can group them, focus on them, and then you have e to the power of 7 and e to the power of 2. So applying the law 2 to this problem, 5 divided by 1 is 5. The denominator is going to disappear because c over 8, c to the power 8 divided by c to the power of 3 becomes simply c to the power 8 minus 3. So all that is replaced with this. And again, e to the power of 7 divided by e to the power of 2 also becomes e to the power 7 minus 2. Of course, this is c to the power of 5. Of course, that is e to the power of 5. So that is a very good step, and that gives you your final answer. That gives you your final answer. So in this lesson on index law 2, our focus has been on how to apply this index law 2 to simplify algebraic expression. That was the learning intention. Success criteria was like the previous lesson: expand and simplify, and also applying index laws 1 and 2 to simplify algebraic expressions. For additional work, please complete companion worksheet posted on Google Classroom. Do also additional work on your online homework, mymathsonline.com.au. And if you have time, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Tabi Maths, and look for other videos to work through. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you. Looking forward to our next lesson on index law 3 and zero power law. Thank you. Bye.